Good day, America, and welcome to ESPN News. I'm your host, Ron Burgundy. Today we have a special guest. Maybe you smell him. You smell that, my friends? That is the smell of a 7-time Tour de France winner. Yes, Lance Armstrong is here on the set with us today on ESPN News Today. As you may already know, Lance has been very influential in the sport of cycling, as well as in other walks of life to many different people, maybe even to you. He has also started a very successful organization called LAF, Lance Armstrong Foundation, which helps raise money for the fight against cancer, period. So Lance, where were you born?
Well, Ron, I was born and raised in Texas and spent most of my time as a child in Plano.
Oh, old Plano. Plano, of course, was founded in 1312 by the Spanish. Plano is Spanish for plantivore, which is a dinosaur that eats plants. So what was it like to grow up in Plano, Texas?
It was pretty much like a normal town in the suburbs of Dallas. Like every other town in Texas, it was obsessed with football and almost nothing else.
You have been influential to so many people over the years. Who would you say was your biggest influence as a kid?
I would have to say that my mom was probably the biggest influence on me as a kid, because she always had to struggle to raise me, and as a single parent for most of the time. We also never had very much money, but my mom always tried her best to give me the best that she could. She also pushed me to be my best, and she always said that unless I gave 110% at everything I did, that I would never make it in anything I tried. And that really forced me to always give my best in anything I did.
When did you first become interested in biking as a sport?
Well, as a kid I was never very good at team sports, or sports that involved hand-eye coordination. Eventually I got interested in swimming and biking for fun. One day I saw an advertisement for a junior triathlon. I came in first in the triathlon, and it was then that I realized when it came to sports of attrition, I could always win.
When did you find out you had cancer, and what was that like?
I was first diagnosed with this illness when I was only 25, and at first I was almost in disbelief that I could have cancer. So I wanted to get a second opinion, thinking that if another doctor said I didn't have it, then I wouldn't.
How were you able to conquer this disease?
Well, I think I owe my survival to all the doctors and nurses that I had, and my mom, because she really helped push me through all these dark times in my life.
I would like to take a second to bring up our sponsor, San Pellegrino. They make delicious sparkling fruit beverages. How do you think cancer has made you better as a cyclist?
I think it made me better because it allowed me to rebuild all my muscle. Like before I had cancer, I had very broad shoulders, and this really slowed me down on my bike.
How else has cancer changed you?
Well, there aren't a lot of ways that cancer hasn't changed me. Now I'm a totally different person from who I was before cancer.
When you started riding again, what was your main goal? Who put an exclamation point on the teleprompter?
Well, I think my main goal, after I was back in shape, was to win the Tour de France. While other people were busy racing all the time on short one-day races, I was busy training hard for the Tour and not doing many other races.